There's been a massive change in the laws regarding campervans and motorhomes nationwide, and it's a big one, unfortunately. That's why we're making this video, to highlight it, show the effects it's going to have onto us and potentially to you as well. First thing I got to say is thank you to the people who've sent us messages on social media and on our Instagram and in comments saying about this new law, because if you didn't do that, we wouldn't have known anything about it. So yeah, it's something that's bizarrely only come to our attention in the last few days. And obviously we've driven from the UK all the way to Greece. I think it's around 2,500 miles, maybe more. And we were under the impression that this country was a very chilled out country with regards to van life laws and wild camping and that sort of thing. And, you know, it's geared up for it. But unfortunately, it's now become the opposite of that. And it's literally a law that's just been passed. So the new law that's just been passed is campervans and motorhomes are banned completely from all public places for parking, obviously. So that means that we can no longer, or campervans and motorhomes in this country can no longer park on beaches, forests, mountains, rural areas, towns, cities, any car park in the public space. It's a big blanket law that's going to affect a lot of people, and we just can't get our heads around it. Like, we've been trying to process it because obviously we didn't know anything about it. So what does this law mean? It basically means that this government, if you choose to come here in a campervan and motorhome, the government wants you to drive straight to a campsite, and from that campsite straight to another campsite if you're going to move around quite a bit. From what we understand, stopping off along the way, let's say you've got a day's journey travelling from one campsite to the next and you want to stop off in a town along the way, parking in that town is also illegal on that stop off for the day for however amount of time that you decide to spend there. The law has extended to private individuals or homes or whatever hosting motorhomes as well. So now apparently you can only host one motorhome on your land as well. So they're really serious about sending the message out to van lifers, people in campervans and motorhomes, that you're not welcome. As far as we understand from it all. The punishment for parking in your campervan or motorhome in a public place is €300. That's a lot of money, and we've seen on social media already that they're making examples of people and they're already issuing the fines. So what does this mean to us? Well, honestly, we are, as you can imagine, very surprised and disappointed. We've travelled a long way to be here and we're very much looking forward to it. It's not a nice thing to happen. And, you know, campsite, I know that we can go to campsites. There aren't many campsites in Greece, by the way. And as we know about campsites, their prices just go up all the time and they're very expensive. So it changes things a lot for us. I don't know what we're going to do moving onwards. And also it's disappointing as well because we've driven from the UK, which is our original home. And in the UK, they've been tightening up on restrictions. We've made videos about them banning overnight parking spots and stuff and what this means and what's going to happen next. But one thing that we thought that they would never do in the UK is do a blanket law like this where they ban motorhomes and campervans from parking everywhere because, you know, a lot of people live in vans, and if they did that, then they would have to house all those people, and we've got a housing crisis. So it's a real strange one. Also as well, if you think about the ripple effect, not just to us, but to local economy. First of all, this campervan cost us a lot of money. They're not cheap, and on board we've got our own shower and toilet and cooking facilities, running water. We're fully off grid. We lean very little on the local infrastructure. In fact, when we park up somewhere, give an example, Meteora, which is we were in mainland Greece not so long ago, that was a wild camping spot. We spent money in the local town. There wasn't many tourists about, and we ended up going to the bakery that was run by a family, a little grocery store that was run by a family, and a taverna that was run by a family. That's how we spent our money. They're people, they're businesses that are no longer going to be getting campervan and motorhome money. So the knock-on effect is disastrous. More to the point, people who now hear about this law, which they should do because they need to know about it before they come, motorhomers, van lifers, campervanners, are no longer going to come to Greece. Unless they go to the campsites, which obviously some people might still do, but most people will just go, sorry, Greece, not going to come anymore. And maybe that's what the government want, but the effect on the economy is going to be something. It's going to have a big effect on the economy, you would imagine. And we travel everywhere in this camper van, and we usually stop in places that we never normally planned on stopping and spending money there as well. Camper vans and motorhomes are a good thing in that respect. They really, really are. And most of the time people look after the area that they're in. They don't chuck rubbish. In fact, they do the opposite. They pick up rubbish, trying to leave the place better than you found it and leave no trace. This is all, for all those reasons, very upsetting. What this means moving forward, we've actually travelled to countries before where there are laws around wild camping. This is the first country, I think, that we're now in that's coincided with this law, which is just bizarre, where they've actually banned parking. So we are currently in a coach car park, and we are literally sandwiched between buses that are meant for transporting people from one place to the next. They're allowing us to park here overnight. I guess it's just about being creative. If we have to use campsites, we will. If we have to use places like this, then we will. It's probably going to cost more money for us now. And if it doesn't work out for us, we'll just leave. We obviously can't go through Albania because of the insurance issues, which is disappointing. So yeah, it's a predicament that we weren't anticipating, but the world is changing quickly. One thing that we have noticed, and that when we've spoken to people, locals, is the local people's feelings about this sort of thing and laws that governments put in place don't always match up with what the government feel about it. So their opinions differ. So there's a bit of conflict there from what we understand. So there's potential that if we go somewhere far out enough, the locals are going to be okay with that, but the government aren't. So as long as we can avoid the government, the police, we might be all right. But we'll just see how we go. And if you want to see how we go, the next time you see us, you'll see us going to a Greek island, which should be interesting. All the adventures that come about from that. We'll share with you any adaptations and any situations we get in, and whether we have to leave or stay in campsites. I don't know. We'll share it with you. But if you found the information on this video helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. The thumbs up do help the channel a lot. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed and all of our new subscribers. You are most welcome. And we'll see you next time on going to a Greek island.
Can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do.